Good morning. I'm happy to see and hear that Sigulda is the place geographically in between Estonia and Latvia, because all the previous times I was participating in events in Pärnu. Always I've been informed that Pärnu is the place in between. And actually, yeah, those two places are very comfortable to visit, to drive there and be there, and the atmosphere and the people and projects and investors are always very interesting. What is this? Nice. Yes, this is kind of. This is objectives, I think. Yeah, this is almost Sigulda, and objective is get across the water and climb up there and be on the top. All right, then I will try to solve this. Well, it works. So. How much of you reads and understands Latvian?
We have to study.
Great, because my presentation accidentally is in Latvian, and I will try to kind of be informative in English language, but most of the slides are Latvian, and actually I was working a little bit yesterday to make them more Latvian than English, yeah, and the title of my presentation is what really investors are looking for, and I will try to answer those questions. And if you feel and see that I'm not talking to that direction you expect, and at the moment all of your thoughts and minds will be in your smartphones, just let me know. I will just stop and switch maybe to other issue, because if that's not interesting, then don't waste your and my time on that. Therefore, if there is questions, some things to other issues, just pop up and ask. How much of you are aware of what business angels are? Great, and maybe you can tell a few things what business angels are. I understand there is some points on the screen, but just what is that? What is business angels? Anybody? All right, then basically business angel is a experienced businessman who do business and earn money, and most probably earned a lot of money to be as wealthy as person who is able to lose some part of the money to some projects. And business angels are persons that invest private. Most of them invest private resources, private money. Investment vehicles might be also some companies, but in general, this is private money. Me, as a business angel, I'm an investor as well. As a business angel, I'm investing my private money, and sometimes I invest as a person, sometimes as a company. But it doesn't make big difference, because you will iterate with the person, with name, surname, and a personal code. And business angels are ready to invest in a very early stage with a project with a high risk and also with a big potential. Yes, that's kind of that part. And usually business angels offer contacts, networking, experience, the knowledge how they got from the startup part to that part where they earn money, got dividends, I know, are ready to sell companies and, I don't know, be wealthy. They offer kind of that experience. They can transfer that experience, that road to your project, to your company. Somehow turn your ideas and turn your thoughts to other direction that maybe you are starting with. Currently, looking at the statistics, then there are 3 years. This is last year. Currently, it's 2018. Then statistics are not collected, but those are the figures. What our Latvian business angels are doing in this region. And last year we did kind of significant amount of investments. And the most interesting is that greenish part, where is almost 3 million euros were invested in startups. And 42 out of our 70 members did investments last year. This is kind of picture where we are. Energy saving. Sorry. Should be working. Yeah. Next slide also are figures. Where are some averages? I will maybe read that out of those 42 investors, they invested in 34 projects last year, and in average, one project got 85,000 euros, and one investor in average invested 70,000. This is bit higher. This is bit higher than usually business angel invests, but this is, I think, kind of this region specifics. Tiit maybe will share some information about Estonian statistics, but as far as I remember, it was close to that numbers as well, as I remember. And the areas where we invest is information technologies, production services, electronics, and a little bit others. And there are answers to the questions who really requires business angel investments. And those are projects with a high risk in a very early stage, where you wasted or spent already those 3F. Do you know 3Fs?
Friends, fools, family.
Yeah, where you spend that money, then you turn to somebody else and try to get money from business angels. And if you get business angel, then this person will certainly not let you or allow you to lose all his money immediately. At least he will force you to do something interesting and more exciting and real to get you on track on the next week, and maybe introduce you with OKRs. Who knows who is OKRs? Objectives and key results. This is objectives, monthly objectives, key results each week, and you will run very fast and very intensive to achieve some results. Yeah, and those are the projects with a high growth potential, and for the teams with ambitious business targets. And if you are that kind of project and team, then you may approach business angels, and of course with a project with a big scale, with a big upscale. And those are the ones business angels are looking for, and those are the projects where business angels' money is meant to. Then little bit about where business angels are in the very famous Maslow pyramid. Those are employees. Those are almost employers. Those are employers, investors, and business angel on the top. That's how we treat and see ourselves in this pyramid. And startups usually came from those two areas. Little bit to repeat, what is business angel? This is knowledge up on the left side. This is experience. It is contact. Then money. We call it smart money because all that combination, what you get from the business angels, is funds, investments that is combined with all the other elements, and we call it smart money or experienced money. Motivation and controlling mechanisms. Before that, you might be in a situation that nobody controls you, so you do what you want. When the angel came into the picture, somebody will look after you. You will start to learn to prepare reports, and so on. Then, how you can approach business angels. This is the events like this, where maybe someone that looks like or feels like business angel will appear. And today there are two, as far as I understand. Maybe there's one more, but actually very small amount of potential investors. What we do in Latvia, usually organize investment sessions that are monthly events where we introduce to the auditorium like this with 35 up to 60 business angels. We introduce some 5 or 6 projects. We have pitch sessions, 3 minutes, 5-6 projects, then discussions, and then kind of little exhibition and show where we can discuss. And this is what we do. So all of your projects may apply. This is open process. You apply. We do some pre-screening. We will teach you, and we will go through your project, your ideas, your presentation, and we will help you to prepare for this show, because this is a very essential process, because you will have 3 minutes to attract attention. Next round will be maybe after 1 year, maybe later, because there are many projects that are interested into the participating in a project and in these investment sessions, and the quiz is quite long. But don't be afraid of that. We sometimes change the order, because if there are interesting projects that appear, we will let them present faster than maybe your turn is approaching. Yeah. Also, in Latvia, we have an organization Altum, where we can attract more money as an additional loan for the project. And the proper proportions are there, so we can get up to 150,000 euros, where 40% comes from the business angels as a private persons, and 60% comes as a loan, a soft loan for the project. And the amount can be larger, up to 250,000 euros. The project is still available. There are some limits, and the deadline is April next year. But it is prolonged for this year, and we expect that it will be prolonged on let's say second time, because there's money available, and it's not invested and not attracted on a full amount. And then very small information about potential other investments what are available in Latvia. There are 3 acceleration funds, total amount in 15 million euros. And those are 3 accelerators. They build it. I think it's from Estonia. telecom technology and commercialization reactor. So you can apply and attract funds and money available from them, and also other activities. I'll not go much in details with that. Then I understand that projects or companies here are more social, with a social and creative aspect, and you might thought that business angels are the ones that are looking for high potential, high risk, high revenue, high big I don't know profit organizations that are, I don't know, booming and providing high return in a very quick period. Yeah. That's not so. That's not always so, because business angels already earned some money and they are not looking for the next big money. It's not always. It's kind of true, but not always. And what we say about us is that we have smart money, yes, for investments, and also we have experience, contacts, advice, mentoring. That's all written over there. But also we are looking for the projects that are with a higher meaning, that may influence some processes, some things that are important for us. Yes, and that's not always, I don't know, some Facebook-ish type of things, or I don't know, Skype or Taxify or something like that. Yes, there are higher meaning you can attract and somehow rise the interest in business angels' mind. And also we are looking to be and to become richer in heart, not always in a bank account. And I think all people should live with a, I don't know, higher aim or higher objective than, I don't know, create something, sell something, and I don't know, earn some money. Therefore, remember, this is not that business angels are looking for the money. Yes, they're sometimes looking for something to do something good and make world or Latvia or Estonia better. Yeah, and this is kind of slogan I'm using always, that the shortest way to the success is to attract investments and attract experience from the private investor. So if you go for the funds or for the venture capitalists, you will get kind of anonymous money from the pensioners somewhere. It's not always the best way. Therefore, my advice is to start working with private investors, some concrete person. This is the point I would like to stop and end my presentation. Maybe you have some questions or some points you would like to discuss, because if I'm looking at the time, I spent 20 minutes talking to you. Maybe other 10 minutes you can talk to me.
I have a question.
My phone? Sorry.
Oh no. Yeah. Thank you. About this. Like at beginning, at first slide, you said about this high potential, but then you just came back to this social aim that's also in there. So where is the balance of this high potential? Like if you have a project that has a good social impact, but it still needs to have a growth potential, like where would be the border or how big the scale needs to be so that business angels would be interested theoretically.
I think the balance is somewhere here. It's not on an Excel sheet or on a PowerPoint, because each angel treats each project differently, and you will not be able to find this precise border where the high potential and social investment and some kind of things are balanced. So there is no clear answer on that. Do you know about this project? It was kind of financed and invested by business angels also.
Sorry, but maybe you can give some background for the Estonian also. Latvians know it, but...
This is the guy who wanted to row from Morocco, some point in Morocco, to Rio de Janeiro. He just wanted to row through the Atlantic Ocean. Simple idea, complicated to accomplish. And he turned to us and said, "Hey, help me." But actually he didn't tell us help me. He told that he's ready to do some important research, participate in, I don't know, different experiments and things like that. He said, "Just let me help you, not me to row." And actually he found a company and a business angel who said, "Yes, we are ready to do some experiments with the salt water." I know one Estonian guy, friend of mine, also was involved in the projects, how to drive on a car across the Atlantic Ocean, and he had the problems with the salted water and some materials that are resistant to salted waters, and the guy, or I can't remember that one, got investment and also got the materials, and he experimented with them through the process, and also he attracted a lot of supporters, and partially was sponsors just letting them go with the logos, but our angel investors gave them money and also materials he tested through the way. And no return, actually. No direct return. That guy just got some data out of that project and spent the money, kind of investment. He most probably will earn money other places.
Yeah.
You gave a very good example, but if you compare companies or startups where Latvian investors, business angels invest to not typical profile of startups where Estonian investors invest, is there any difference? So I know you have many friends in Estonia. Is there some basic difference by industries or by type of startups?
I don't know. I think there's no big difference. Somehow Estonians were pretty much 100,000 times successful than Latvian investors, because you have how much, 3 unicorns in investments in Latvia, none. But the area, I think, is the same. I can't name big differences. We haven't collected statistics as well, but on a hard feeling, then no, not big differences. Yes. Who knows who is unicorn? unicorn is a billion euros valuation company. At least billion. All right.
Anyone else?
Anything else? This is also one investment. This is the kind of IT solution where you can interact with the municipalities to keep the city beautiful. So if you find something on a street or in a area that should be fixed or changed, then you can interact with the municipality and give your feedback and advice. It's called stakeholders, also non-profit so far. Most probably will never be profitable, but will influence something that is important for the investors and for the project. Yeah.
Thank you for this. I think it's very important for us to see the good examples for the social and creative ones that have already gotten investment from the business angels. Maybe do you have a few suggestions for the social and creative entrepreneurs as well? How to prepare, because these pitching sessions, they're quite businessy. So maybe how did these two companies, did they go through the same way, or because usually the social and creative entrepreneurs, they are also kind of forced together with all the IT and technology and medicine and learning companies to have the same stresses on the fast return and high reward and the reports and everything. So how do they fit into the system, and what should they keep in mind?
Actually, I have 2 slides that talks about that. One is how to track successfully and what are the mistakes. Do you want to hear that?
Yeah, I think it's very important.
All right, then bring it back. Bring back my slide, please.
Can we fix this during lunch?
I think
Is
it's
this
not
fixed?
possible
Yeah?
to fix because this is computer.
Okay.
It saves energy.
So maybe let's forget about the slides, but let's hear your opinion on the mistakes and how to...
Yeah, to successfully attract the finances, then one of the things is global perspective. How big it could become. If it's only big on Latvia and Estonia and Baltic level, it might be not that interesting. If it may become big on larger scale, then it's kind of correct direction. Shouldn't be in terms of revenue, it multiples million times or enters into 192 countries. That does not mean that, but it should have a global perspective. It should be possible to grow big with some preconditions. Then your idea should live or be long term. It should last longer term than few years, or until you will accomplish something, or until some state regulation is in force. Anything else that allows the project to be long term and live almost forever, then it's kind of very good precondition to be successful at attracting finances. Team is essential. I would say the team is kind of, it should be higher because team is the most important part. And if you have a competent and motivated team that is glued together, whatever comes, because usually when you apply for finances, you have one idea, but after a few periods, I don't know, 1-2 years, your idea is completely different, but it's very essential that team is kind of together. And proposal for investor is also important. And yeah, potential return. It will be evaluated and it will be measured from investor point of view. And some proof that product or idea is ready. It is not only a bright idea that exists into your minds. You should prove that this is something real. Like, do you remember? There is a very famous movie at the moment, Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yeah.
where they, in 1975, the year I was born, came to the, I don't know how they call, but let's call that investor and say, we will make opera. Yes. And that was the most expensive recording process and project that time. But everybody knows that result after 40 years, 45 years. Yes. And they proved that their idea in mind is worth to invest into it. I'm not talking about that kind of idea, because if you approach a business angel, it's not enough with the idea in mind. It should be something realistic. It should be something tangible. Yeah, and the proof that somebody is interested into it, that somebody needs that. All right, this is how to be successful. Then there are some mistakes. And mistakes are a little bit obvious. And this first point is about objectives. If you don't have objective, some aim to work on, or this is not, if you're not that aware of that objective, then it's a problem for you, because you will not be able to fight for it. Yeah, this is about the product. If you have some idea or some product and you are so excited and so happy about that is very brilliant, without any base on that, or any researches that anybody needs the product and some proof, then it's always a problem. And the auditorium and investors feels that situation, that you are kind of very happy with what you have in mind, but nobody is interested into that. And therefore, be careful with that. If you plan to turn your hobby into business, then it's again a kind of problem with that. You should be in a very interesting or perspective or scalable hobby then. Yeah, and also there are not enough competences of yourself or of your team into this potential idea and a project. And you need to be invested time, knowledge into the idea and project to prove that it is worth to continue. And it's always a question about sales. This is sales, yes. You need to sell your product, you need to sell your idea. Somebody needs that. You should find somebody that need that, what you are trying to or looking to create. Yes. If nobody needs that, then nobody needs that. And it should be verified all the time. Actually, not in the very beginning, it should be verified all the time, all the long way. Yeah. Yeah. This is return on investment. It's always a matter of Excel. Excel can carry anything, any figures, any growths, anything. Yes, but it should be realistic and even pessimistic than realistic. This is my advices. How to somehow go in the right direction and not make big mistakes during the presentations and during the consideration of your project to show to investor. because investors have seen tens and hundreds of the projects. Therefore, they feel and find already those potential problems or small lies or things that is not real, or they are more wishful thinking than realistic. Yes. Did I answer the questions?
Yes, for my yes, but we have a new one.
Hello. What is mostly, or this is of course personal, but if you find some investor or business angel, what is the % of company what the people gave up then for the investors? I understand that the business angels, they come inside and they stay there because of the dividends and stuff.
From both sides, from project and from the business angel point of view, you shouldn't give away too much, and angels shouldn't take too much. And too much is 20 to 36.25. Joke. But again, it shouldn't be too much, because this is the matter of motivation. Yes, if you give away too much, then you expect too much from your owners. And from my experience, there was investments from 0.5% till 27, something like that, percentage of the equity, approximately. But the idea is that if you give away too much, then team becomes less motivated, because this is kind of first round. You will be diluted and diluted and diluted and diluted while you are developing your company. You're attracting more investors. There is stages where you'll be in Series A, B, C, and at the end of the day, you as a founder, as the father of idea or mother of idea, will end up with a very kind of small amount of your company. Hopefully it worth a lot, yes, but be careful with that. And there is a lot of advices and a lot of calculations and materials available about the correct valuation and correct calculation of these investments. But there is no one correct answer. Yes, this is case by case, and it should be treated very, very carefully. At least on a very early stage in investments. Yes, 51% absolutely not. At that moment, just leave the building. If somebody asks for the majority from the investors, yes, this is not worth to talk to.
I have investors, and that's why the people mostly don't know about process. So it's important to tell the new companies that at least the 51% you have to keep for sure, and then not one round, but you have different sizes of money what you need sometimes. So
yeah, team as a founders should keep majority, 51, even more, and keep it for a longer period until it becomes, I don't know, worthless, because you got big money into the company, most probably. Yes, but yes, be very careful to give away your company.
Okay, thank you so much. Applause for Janis.
Thank you.
He's sticking around for the day, so feel free to disturb him during lunch and coffee breaks if you have any questions.